What is the best way to really build wealth? Well, to build the wealth, you need three things, and all of them are very simple. We need to keep things simple here. When we overplan, when we complicate things, we are going the wrong way. Very often in on the internet, people overcomplicate things because they want you to believe that there is something precious that almost nobody knows, which is just a lie. The reality is you need to have three things. Most important most important of them to take advantage of compound interest is time. You need to have time, which means that it's preferable. The best way is that you start to invest as early as you can. If you start to invest when you are very young, is the best way. But the reality is this: each one of us has his or her own reality. So, if you are only able to invest now, there is no problem. That's your reality. That's what you could do with your life. So, do it. If you started with 20 years old, it's good. If you started with 30, all right. If you start with 40 or 50 or 60, whatever it is, you need to start. The sooner you start, the better. Let's say that you are 60 years old now. My friend, in 10 years, you are going to be 70 years old. So, what is better? To start now or to start 5 years from now or 10 years from now? The best way is to start now. So, this is the first and most important thing. All right. Now, the second most important thing, and this matters a lot, is how much are you going to invest per month? Your monthly investment. This is very important because let's recognize something here. If you invest, for example, 100, it's very different that if you invest 1,000, which is very different that you invest 2 or 3,000. So when you think about this part of the equation here, we need to keep in mind this. One thing that it's very important is your work, what you are going to do, because the amount that you are going to invest per month, it's going to be related with your work. So you need to choose that wisely. Let's think about the first most important thing, which is time. If you have a lot of time, but you invest just a little per month, it's going to compound, yes. But if you invest more, it's going to compound much more. So you need to think very clearly when you are young about what you are going to do. You know, because if you go into a good industry, a good field, if you make more money, it's going to be good for you because you are going to be able to invest more. So, this is the second most important thing. And concerning this Second most important thing, you need to think about it very deeply. You need to understand what you are going to do to be able to invest. Another thing that you need to think about when it comes to how much you are going to invest, it's about your expenses. How much you spend per month with your life, with how you live, where you live, your house, and especially your car. You know, here in Brazil, people love cars. And what they do in most situations is that they buy more car than they should. You know, the other day I was in a condominium, and in this condominium, I know that most people there they pay rent. And if you take a look to the cars that are there, many expensive cars. You have cars there that are more expensive than the apartments that these people are renting. Because here in Brazil, cars are very, very expensive. In general, I believe that they cost the double of what they cost in US. So, for example, the car that I own here, Toyota Corolla, in Brazil, it is considered a good car. It's not a cheap car that almost everybody has. In United States, I know that it's a car for poor people, but the reality here is different. So, for example, in this condominium, a lot of expensive cars there for Brazilian standards. Why is that? Because people are thinking about and social, how they are going to look for other people, how they are going to present themselves in the society, this kind of situation. So you need to think about this. You need to really think about your car. For example, um, I like cars too. Like almost everybody in Brazil, I enjoy cars, and I would like to have a better car. But the reality is, for now, for me, the Toyota Corolla fits me well, and I prefer to save more than to buy a better car. I could do it, but I'm not going to do it. I want to be more disciplined and to take care of it, and I want to be the kind of people do do don't give much value to things such as cars. This is what I want to do. And the third thing is the interest rate which you are going to invest. And you need to be careful with that. You need to find uh, interest fund, a good interest rate, but you don't need to be too much worried with it because it's the last important part. In general, people give much more attention to the interest rate than the attention that they give to the two most important things, which are time and the amount that you are going to invest per month. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to really think about this. And it's not complicated. In Brazil, the interest rates are very high. You can um, um, invest with a high rate in an index fund or other kind of fund in the, but it's not difficult to do that. I believe that in the United States is you need to invest in really in stock funds. In Brazil, not always. You can do that too. But the problem with Brazil is this: the situation here is this way because of the risk of the country. In the United States, you have less risk. The dollar is a more stable money, is more stable coin. So because of that, if you invest in stocks in United States, I believe that you are in a better shape than if you invest in Brazil. One interesting thing is this: we that have born here in Brazil, that live here our entire lives, we are used to invest here. But in the reality, it would be better for us if we invest abroad, especially in the United States. But I'm doing that right now. I'm especially in ETFs that are related to the S&P 500. But to tell you the truth, most of my investments here in Brazil are in real estate, and I start very early in life. I start when I was 22 or 23 years old. So because of that, I was able to take advantage of compound interest because I start very soon. But you know something, in in each phase of life, it's doable for us to start investing, and we need to keep that in mind. Let's think about something that I'm going to tell you right now. Today, I'm going to do an exam of the stomach. I believe that in English it is called endoscopy. It's an exam where they check your stomach to see. They put a camera into your stomach to see if everything is okay there. And I'm doing that because I suffer with reflux, and I believe that I may have any any other thing happening in my stomach, and I'm going to check. But it's just an exam that you have to do from time to time, especially if you feel something in your stomach. But you know what I'm going to do with this? I really want to take advantage of the situation to rethink my habits, especially my eating habits. Because when you think this in a more deep way, you realize that everything it's related. You know, for example, I may be having bad eating habits because I'm anxious. Each one of us, we have something that is more difficult for us to deal with. For example, for me, um, it's more easy to train every day. It's easy to train every day. I do not have difficulty to train every day. And somehow I manage to keep my weight in in a in a to keep a healthy weight for me. But you know, my eating habits, I struggle with them very often. And it varies uh, through my life. In certain situations, I struggle with them more. In other situations, I was able to be disciplined with them. So they vary. But right now, as soon as I finish to film this video here, I'm going to take this exam, and it's an opportunity to think about your life again. For example, in my case, why is that? Maybe I became more anxious after my divorce. Maybe I became more anxious after finishing the last construction and because I didn't initiate another construction yet. I'm thinking about this. And you know something? Sometimes it's not easy. When you are doing things out of anxiety, it's something that you really need to be very honest with yourself. Because if you are honest with yourself, very honest, deep down, you are going to find what is really happening with you. And that's what I'm planning to do today. All right, guys, this is all that I have for you today. Thank you all for that are watching, and I'll see you in the next video.